You've just answered a true-false question that tests an understanding of the mens rea required for larceny. The answer to this question is false. It would not be larceny for a defendant to take the Ferrari for a ride. That's because the mens rea was missing. It's true that defendant committed the actus reus of larceny. He took dominion control over the car and he carried it away. But what's missing is the mens rea. Defendant didn't have the intent to permanently deprive the possessor of the car. Okay, there was no larceny, but it's got to be some crime, right? You can't very well have valets driving fancy cars around while their customers are having dinner inside the restaurant. You take the Bentley now. No, you take the Jaguar now. So what should modern legislatures do when there's a gap in the law? To address the gap, legislators made a new crime to fit this particular kind of act. It's called joyriding, which is the unlawful use of a vehicle without the intent to permanently deprive. That way, the criminal act of taking a vehicle temporarily could be punished within reach of the law, but without an attempt to shoehorn it into existing law. So now for the bonus round. Are you ready? Could defendant be charged with attempted larceny for having taken the car in exactly the same circumstances? Yes or no? What do you think? The answer is no. There's no attempted larceny either. This question requires that we review for a moment what's required for attempt crimes. You'll recall that we discussed previously State versus Stewart, a case involving a young man standing at a bus plexiglass stop where he was surrounded by 3 men. Those men were charged with attempted robbery. From that discussion, we learned that attempt crimes require a sufficient act towards the commission of the crime, coupled with the specific intent to commit the crime. Well, in this hypothetical, defendant didn't have the specific intent to commit larceny, meaning that he didn't have the intent to permanently deprive the possessor of the Ferrari. If that's the case, he can't be convicted of attempted larceny because there's no mens rea of the intent to permanently deprive. The same reason he can't be guilty of larceny is why he can't be guilty of attempted larceny. It all boils down to no mens rea.